Hello! Welcome to another VEDID. This is VEDID 9, I think? Yeah, 9. VEDID number 9. We're over a week done with this thing. Woo, woo, woo. Almost in the double digits! What? Today we're going to be talking about my personal, currently favorite TV shows. These are shows that currently I love and am watching or am waiting to watch or have already watched, that are just stacked up on this list right now. And this list will change from time to time, so don't hold me to it, like in a year or so. So number 5 on the top 5 current favorite shows of me, Bela, is Comic Book Man on AMC. This show is just about the world of comic book retail, and I don't know why, because I'm not especially into comic books. I can't appreciate the world of comic book retail, and I don't know why this show interests me so much, but it does. If you like comic books, if you like geeky, nerdy, dorky stuff like I do, then you will probably enjoy this show. So go check it out. Number 4 on the list of top 5 favorite shows of me, Bela, is Lucifer on Fox. I love this show. It's basically what if the devil walked around in LA as a human and also helped with police investigations. It's honestly more fun than that. Tom Ellis, who plays Lucifer, is great, and there are so many amazing female characters on Lucifer. Chloe Decker, she is great, honestly, love her to death. Mazikeen is badass AF, I love her. Oh my god. Ella, who is a new person on the series this season, is adorable, and honestly, I love her so much. If you don't know the show, then you should probably check it out. Just go watch an episode or two. It's interesting. Number 3 on the top 5 favorite TV shows of me, Bela, is Arrested Development. And I had not gotten into this show early on in my life. I just recently started watching it. I binge watched every episode, including season 4. I love it. There aren't honestly a lot of shows that make me laugh out loud, but when a show does make me laugh out loud, then I usually immediately just fall for the show. It's great. The writing is hilarious. So Arrested Development can basically be summed up in its opening narration. Now the story of a wealthy family who lost everything and the one son who had no choice but to keep them all together. So number 1 and number 2 on this list of favorites flip-flop often, because sometimes the current number 1, which you will find out in a few moments, the current number 1 sometimes gets knocked down because of a bad episode or just a way that they piss me off with the characterization of a character. But number 2 currently is The Office. And if you haven't seen this series, then how have you avoided this series? I'm talking the US series, not the UK series. I haven't watched the UK series, but I hear it's not as good as the US series, and I love the US series. It's the story of a workplace and all the crazy shenanigans that happen in the Dunder Mifflin paper office place. That sentence got away from me. And finally, currently my number 1 favorite TV show until they do something that makes me angry again, Game of Thrones. How do you begin to describe Game of Thrones? It's like if Lord of the Rings was a lot bloodier and had sex scenes and also a lot more female characters. And if it wasn't as long and drawn out as the Lord of the Rings movies were. Don't get me wrong, I love Lord of the Rings, I love The Hobbit, I love Lord of the Rings, I love Tolkien's work, but Game of Thrones is just more, I think, interesting for people who aren't super into high fantasy and all the lore and stuff that goes on. With Game of Thrones, yes, it gets confusing. There are a lot of names to remember, there are a lot of characters that get killed off very quickly, there are just plot lines that are constantly weaving in and out of each other, but I think it's more interesting if you have a story that is that confusing, that it kind of helps keep the viewer interested. In Lord of the Rings, it's pretty straightforward. Get this ring, take it to the place, drop the ring in, leave the place. It's pretty straightforward, but With Game of Thrones, there's just like betrayal, love, death, incest, surprise cousins. Honestly, Game of Thrones is just, I don't know how to accurately describe Game of Thrones. It's just Game of Thrones. That's the only way to describe it. And yeah, that was my top 5 favorite TV shows currently. What are your top 5 favorite TV shows currently? You can tell me in the comments. I'll probably reply to them. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.